MotoGP touchdown in Europe once again for round 4 of the 2023 World Championship, with the jewel in the Spanish crown of tracks playing host to a belting weekend of action. Circuito de Jerez Angel Nieto saw the party in full flow over the weekend, with fans having plenty to celebrate in Andalusia. Some spectators made sure it was a weekend they would never forget. While on track, Pecco Bagnaia and his GP23 showed why they are a match made in heaven, with the second victory of the season, ahead of the orange charge from the KTMs who completed the podium places. Amid the excitement, red flags and carnival atmosphere, you may not have caught all the action, so these are your other battles from the Spanish Grand Prix. It was a weekend to remember for KTM, with Brad Binder and Jack Miller on the podium, while there was an unforgettable wildcard appearance from test rider Dani Pedrosa. The Little Samurai claimed 6th in the sprint and put on a show for the home fans during Sunday's race, who gave him a rapturous reception. The number 26 was paced in battle with Luca Marini for much of the race, with the two exchanging overtakes at turn 1, which in turn opened the door for Johan Zarco to move on through. Then Pedrosa had to contend with Alex Marquez. The Gresini rider moved through on lap 5, and Pedrosa hit back on the 8th lap, executing a nice move to reclaim P8. From there, he held off any further advances from contenders behind him, while Zarco's crash promoted him into 7th, where he would go on to finish the race in a hugely impressive return. It was another difficult outing for Maverick Vinales, as Top Gun was unable to live up to some of his early weekend form. The Aprilia race start issues continued in Jerez, with the RSGP sinking through the pack once again at lights out. He did manage to recover some of those positions to find himself in a top 10 scrap with Alex Marquez, and on lap 12 he managed to push by the Desmos Edici at the Jorge Lorenzo corner. As the race neared its conclusion, Vinales looked set for an 8th place finish, but his luck ran out as his chain snapped off on the final lap, forcing him to retire from the Grand Prix and missing out crucial championship points. For 2021 World Champion Fabio Quartararo, Jerez was a race to forget. The Frenchman's entanglement with Miguel Oliveira saw the red flags wave after just a couple corners, and while he managed to make the restart, he drew the ire of the stewards. Handed a long lap penalty, he was soon given another for exceeding limits on his first attempt, and after a second trip through the long lap penalty loop, he began chasing down Augusto and Raul Fernandez. An error from the RNF Aprilia rider allowed Quartararo through, while that began his pursuit of the Gas Tech 3 machine ahead of him, though a turn 6 mistake didn't help his cause. The Yamaha rider eventually got past Fernandez on lap 18, while he also then caught Fabio Di Giannantonio to rescue a top 10 finish. What a return to Andalusia it was, and we don't need to wait long for the next installment of adrenaline-fueled action, with a historic 1000th Grand Prix coming up next at the famous racing city of Le Mans. The French GP is just around the corner, so make sure you tune in then.